Welcome to the AssembledBlocks tutorial. This video will guide you through creating and constraining parts with the assembly workbench. First, go to File, New. Under the pop-up, select Product, then click OK. You might still be in the Infrastructure workbench, so go to Start, Mechanical Design, Assembly Design. We also need to rename the product, so right-click Product 1 and select Properties. Under the Product tab, rename the product's part number, AssembledBlocks, and click OK. Next, we need to insert parts into the product. At the top, go to Insert, New Part. If nothing appears to happen, left-click the AssembledBlocks as the product to insert parts into. If you try to insert a new part with another part highlighted, you get an error message. Select the AssembledBlocks product and go to Insert, New Part. A message box will pop up asking about defining the origin point. You can just select No. Add another part to the product. You can also add another part by selecting the new part icon on the toolbars to the right. Again, select the product if a new part does not add right away. Continue adding parts until you get a total of 5. Next is to rename the parts. Right-click the first part and select Properties. Under the Properties tab in the pop-up window, rename the instance name and part number to Frame and click OK. Repeat the process to rename the parts Main Block, Small Block, Wedge, and Peg. If you want to reorder the specification tree, like having main block before frame, select the graph tree reordering icon and select the AssembledBlocks product. In the pop-up window, select the part you want to move around and use the arrows. Expand main block and double-click part body to enter the part design workbench, and enter Sketcher on the YZ plane. Before we start modeling, we need to change the units. So go to Tools and Options. Under Parameters and Measurements and Units, make sure that the unit of measurement for length is inches. Under Mechanical Design and Sketcher, you can change the primary spacing to 1 and graduations to 4 to better use the grid to help model. Now we can use the rectangle tool. Set the beginning point and tab over to enter a width of 8 inches and a height of 4 inches. Apply symmetry constraints to position the rectangle in the center. Create a triangle in the upper left region of the rectangle and constrain it as shown. This will be a pocket for the wedge part that we'll make later. Now create a rectangle in the bottom center and constrain it as shown. Now create and constrain a circle in the top right. Your main block sketch should all be green. Exit out of Sketcher. With the sketch selected, pad it a length of 1.5 inches and select Mirrored Extent. Right-click on the part body and select Properties. Under the Graphics tab, change the color so we can more easily identify the blocks from one another. Minimize main block and expand frame. Double-click on part body to activate. Enter Sketcher on the YZ plane. Control-click the four sides of the main block, and with the edges selected, click on Project 3D Elements. Then, with everything selected, select the Offset command. Tab over and enter in an offset of 0.5 inches. Apply constraints to make the sketch fully constrained. Exit Sketcher and pad the sketch 0.75 inches mirrored extent. Again, right-click the part body and go into Properties and change the color. Minimize frame and expand small block. Double-click on part body to activate. Enter Sketcher on the YZ plane. Control-click the four sides of the small rectangular pocket in the main block. With the edges selected, click the Project 3D Elements. Exit Sketcher and pad the sketch 2.5 inches mirrored extent. Again, right-click the part body to go into Properties and change the color. Avoid orange since it makes the part look like it's activated. Minimize small block and expand wedge. Double-click on part body to activate. Enter Sketcher on the YZ plane. Control-click the three sides of the small triangular pocket in the main block. Project them and pad the sketch 2.5 inches mirrored extent as before. Again, right-click the part body to go into Properties and change the color. Repeat the same process of activating peg, projecting the circular edge, and padding the part 2.5 inches mirrored extent. Here is the finished assembly. Next, we need to save all of the parts to the same location in order to keep the parts linked properly. Go to File, Save Management. In the pop-up menu, click Save As and direct it to where you want to save it. When you direct a location to save, all of the newly created files will be directed to the same location. To ensure the files are being saved together with the product file, highlight the product and select Propagate Directory.